Bullets pinged off the surface of the Indian Ocean. One spot-on shot and Professor Roger Jolley and I would swim with the fish. A water cannon blasted the side of our Zodiac raft. It reared up but didn't flip over. I could have sworn Nefertiti blinked. I tossed her marble head to the bottom of the inflatable boat and dropped on top of it with my elbows on my knees to protect my stomach. Roger threw himself over me. Either the shots were receding or my eardrums had exploded. The whipped cream cloud swallowed the rat-a-tat of the gunfire, allowing me to catch my breath. 7 months pregnant with little Roger, my small belly fit nicely under my body, squashing sideways against the bottom of the boat. By the time he was born, our son would be an experienced adventurer. There was something so family about having little Roger nestled under me, his daddy sheltering us with his sweaty body, his brown wingtips pressed into my exposed calves. I was flushed with a sense of belonging to something bigger than my own need for independence. By next Sunday, I would be Mrs. Roger Jolley. Our destination wedding was set at the Helsing Resort and Spa in Loutish, Vulgaria. I allowed Roger to pick the location. My only requirement was that it be thugless. Dang, 2 more bullets chirped into the sea. The pirates were getting closer. I imagined the fragrance of goat loin salami on their breaths. The bottom of the Zodiac boat stunk of rotting fish and seaweed. I struggled to push my head to the side, gulping for air, and hissed at my betrothed. "Get us the hell out of here, now." "Help is on the way," Roger said, planting a kiss on the back of my neck. Dodging smugglers and muggers for almost 3 years, we'd come to that point where we finished each other's sentences. We'd saved each other's butts, so we had that bond thing. Not James. Besides, Roger needed me if he was going to see 40. I'd seen 40 3 years ago, and it wasn't a pleasant sight. You shouldn't have to go through it alone. Little Roger kicked once, making his objections known. "Don't lean on me," I yelped. "I'm not leaving you," Roger yelled. A gray Kenyan Navy chopper dropped from the sky. A soldier in dark camo fatigues crouched in the hatchway and rained a wall of bullets between the pirates and our little putt-putt rubber boat. I hoped he was a better shot than our pursuers. A wave bounced Roger off my back. Peeking up, I spotted a second chopper. It resembled a giant dragonfly dipping and buzzing. The gunner nailed the pilot's fiberglass boat, splitting the stern into raggedy strips. The thieves backed off. The sound of their motor announced their reconsideration of the snatch of Nefertiti's noggin. They vanished over the horizon with one naval chopper in pursuit, peppering them with shots. The second chopper sputtered overhead, the noise freaking me out and sending headache feelers through my skull. I cut a distressed look at Roger, and he waved the helicopter off with 2 thumbs up. I had mixed feelings about parting with our rescuers. The chopper disappeared into a thick cloud bank. Roger kissed the side of my neck. "You okay?" He rubbed my back as if that would help. I had his baby in my belly, a marble bust of an ancient Egyptian queen pinned under me, and I smelled like an old fishing boat. No, I was not okay. "You know I would die for you," he said. That didn't help. The point was I wanted him to live for me. I wriggled onto my side and eased to a semi-sitting position, my back against the inflated side of the boat. Roger had promised me this Kenyan caper would be a safe little antiquity pickup and delivery. These shopping trips never turned out the way he planned. He could be very naive about thugs, mugs, and oligarchs with stolen art collections. It was time for me to take a baby-on-board sabbatical. My eyes burned from salt water, a string of seaweed clung to my cheek, and worst of all, my lips hurt. My little baby bump pooched out, not quite as far as my boobs, which for the first time in my life were pooching out nicely. For a midlife pregnancy, I lucked out and was carrying a small load. I'd only put on 13 pounds, and in the right outfit, could still outleap Angelina Jolie. Dr. McKenna said both baby Jolie and I were in super shape. We knew we were expecting a boy, thanks to Mrs. McGuffin and her magical pipeline. She was a combination afterlife coach and psychic fairy godmother, a darling dimple of a paranormal auntie we'd inherited through a bit of transmigration. But that's another story, and not one to share with a narrow-minded obstetrician. I smiled at the thought of the tiny blue booties Mrs. McGuffin gave me as a parting gift, and imagined a little version of Dr. Roger Jolley, world-famous archaeologist, joining us on our adventures.